Hello and welcome to my patch 5.3 BM Hunter Guide. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is talents. Now in terms of talents you have quite a few choices. For the first tier I like to choose post haste in general because I really like the movement speed buff. However, for a lot of fights you're probably best to go for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Chimera. Not because of the disengage cooldown, but because of the deterrence cooldown, which is reduced by 60 seconds, and that's really pretty damn nice. So for the next tier, you will pretty much want Silencing Shot in most encounters because that's a silence and that can always help your raid out. For the level 45 one, usually you want to go for Aspect of the Iron Hawk. I've been soloing a little bit, so I use Acceleration for pet healing, but generally Aspect of the Iron Hawk. For level 60, you want to go for Dire Beast. This is the best single target option. For 75, you want to go with a Murder of Crows. It is also the best single target option. And the same goes for level 90, in which you want to use Glaive Toss. Now for glyphs, you want to be using, there's really only two that I would say are mandatory. The first one's Animal Bond. This increases your damage received by 10%. And the next one is the Glyph of Deterrence, which it gives you an additional 20% damage reduction while in Deterrence, and that's pretty damn nice. So there's your talents and your spec done. The next thing I'm going to talk about is gems. So for your helm slot, you want to go with the Agile Primal Diamond, which gives you 216 agility and the 3% increased crit. You can also, of course, go for the legendary one, that's better. Now for the red slot, you just want to go with the delicate gem, so pure agility. For the, the yellow slot, you want to go with the agility and crit one, which is the deadly Vermilion Onyx or Tiger Opal. And for the blue slots, you want to go for the glinting version, that's agility and hit. They are the glinting Imperial Amethyst and the glinting, the perfect glinting Rogue Stone. Now for enchants, for the shoulder you want to go with the Greater Tiger Claw, or the Tiger Claw, pretty much any of those. For the back you want to go with Accuracy if you need hit, and Superior Crit in any other circumstance. For the chest you want to go with Glorious Stats. For wrists you want to go with Greater Agility, or the Fur Lining if you're a leather worker. Of course if you're a blacksmith you want to socket that. For the hands you want to go with Superior Haste. However, you can use Superior Expertise if you are not hitting the cap. For the waist, you want to put a belt buckle on and throw in a red gem. For the legs, you want Shadow Leather leg armor. For feet, you want Blurred Speed. For the ring, you want Greater Agility. And for the weapon, of course the ring, that's only if you're an enchanter. And for your weapon, you want to use Lord Blastington's Scope of Doom. Now the next thing we're going to move on to is stats. I'll show you here. Where are we? Yes. So all you really need to worry about is hit, which for some reason mine's very low. It's because I'm in my PvP here, actually. 1 second. Either that or I've not reforged in a very long time. Yeah, 7.44. I'm a Draenei, so I don't need as high crit. And then expertise is 8. Now, essentially you want your crit to be 8%, and you want your expertise to be 8%. Now, in terms of the exact reforging and stuff, what you're best to do is to go to AskMrRobot.com, plug your character into that, and hit the optimize button. This will give you optimized reforging and stuff like that, and that's really the best way to do things. Now, the next thing is the rotation, which is a rather interesting rotation. So, in terms of abilities, I'll just go through what I have in my bars. Serpent Sting, we all know what that is, just a ranged dot. Now, there is Focus Fire. What Focus Fire does is as your pet attacks, it gets stacks of Frenzy. And Frenzy, I think, increases its damage or something like that. So once it hits 5 stacks of Frenzy, you can use Focus Fire to reset your pet stack to 0 and give you a haste buff. So that's very nice. You want to use that on cooldown, except for when Bestial Wrath is up, in which case you'll want your pet to be stronger. Kill Shot, use under 20%. Arcane Shot is your filler shot. You don't want to use it too much. So you don't delay any of your signature shots. Kill Command is your big boom sort of thing. You tell your pet to attack and it does about 80k damage according to the tooltip. However, tooltips are rarely right. My pet just did 52k, so there you go. Next thing you have is Cobra Shot. This is what we use to regen our focus with, and you just use that to get your focus back, stuff like that. Glaive Toss is a talent. It's the one you should use, just use it in cooldown. Explosive Trap, you should use in AoE situations. Multi-shots in AoE, and then they're just traps. Now in terms of our cooldowns, we have Focus Fire, which is 3 minutes and increases ranged haste by 40%. Then there's Bestial Wrath, which makes your pet get angry, making it do 20% additional damage. It also puts a buff on the player, which increases your damage done by 10 seconds, I think. Murder of Crows is a dot that you want to have on your target as soon as possible. Rabid is a pet ability which increases their attack speed by 70%. As you can imagine, that it should be stacked with Bestial Wrath. Then you have Dire Beast. This is just damage and focus regen. Readiness will, currently in patch 5.3, reset every hunter ability that's got a cooldown of under 5 minutes. Then we have Stampede, which is a 5-minute cooldown. All your pets sort of fly out and they do wide damage. So, how do we use all these? Well, the way you want to do your opener is you pop all your cooldowns. Well, yeah, you pop all your cooldowns, then you use a kill command, followed by readiness, followed by another kill command, and then another kill command as soon as possible. This should allow you to get 3 kill commands off within the duration of Bestial Wrath. And now Bestial Wrath affects pet damage, so this is very beneficial to your damage. And that's the way you want to do it. From then, you just want to make sure that you use Bestial Wrath and Dire Beast at roughly the same time, so that Dire Beast can have, just so you can stack those up essentially. You also want to use Rabid with Bestial Wrath if possible. And Rapid Fire can be stacked with Stampede because it will increase the haste of your pets, but it doesn't really matter that much. So essentially that's it. Now, in terms of potions, you want to use Vermin's Bite, you want to pre-pop with that, so before the pull of the boss you use a potion, and then it will reset during the fight and you can use it again. And you want to use the Flask of Spring Blossoms, then just any agility food will do the job. So let's just go for a little burst, so we use our abilities, attack, and yeah, all's good. I'm probably not doing this perfectly because, well, I'm really tired when I'm doing this video actually. But as you can see, the burst is pretty nice. Now in terms of the burst damage that I've been able to pull off in the past, I accidentally minimized the window. The most I've ever done is 370k. There we go. I think I peaked 203k. At the end of the day, I'm not really paying attention at the minute, so what can you do? And of course I don't have full grade buffs. But yeah, that's essentially the BM Hunter. Now BM is currently the highest damaging Hunter spec by about 5%. It's 5% above survival and significantly higher than marksmanship. It's also currently the best PvP spec, however that will probably change in patch 5.4. We'll have to see what the changes bring. So that's really it for this video. I hope it's helped. I'm not the best hunter in the world, but I'm definitely pretty good. I can statistically say that I'm pretty good when I look at damage and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Warcraft video. Bye.